Good morning. Welcome to First Church Unitarian here in Littleton, Massachusetts. My name is Lara Hoke, pronouns she, they, and I'm so happy and lucky to be serving this incredible congregation. Thank you for being here this morning, whether you're with us in the sanctuary or whether you're with us online. Very happy to see you just as you are. We celebrate the many diversities among us, diversities of age, class background, race, differing abilities, sexual orientation, gender identity, and more. And we're also grateful for a wide tent of religious beliefs here. And we're glad that you've come just as you are with all that you bring and all that you have and are. If you are seeking any pastoral care, if you're going through a difficult time, want to talk to somebody about something, you can always reach out to me, or you can reach out to one of our wonderful lay pastoral ministers. Today's lay pastoral minister is Ann Donald, who's always with us on Zoom. And our other lay pastoral ministers are Jan Dustin, Linda Kaylor, and Patty Sardella. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Luann for Community Matters.
Wake up. Good morning. Welcome to First Church Unitarian. My name is Luann Colombo. My pronouns are she, her, me. I am honored to be serving as a freshman deacon of this amazing congregation. I am a medium-sized woman with a large smile and a ponytail, and I am truly grateful to be part of this community. I'd like you to focus your attention to Community Matters. You'll see that, as usual, there is so much happening. Emma's Revolution, yay, is performing on this very stage this Friday, February 6th at 7 o'clock. The concert is also available on live stream, so invite your friends around the country. Even my Colorado biker babes are going to be tuning in. Funds raised go to the IIIN to support recent immigrants. Tickets are on sale online and in the vestry at church. And today's the last day to buy them here at church for the advanced ticket price and no ticket extra fees. Let's see, we've got a big Valentine's Day weekend coming up. Our second annual Valentine Family Karaoke Party is happening on Friday the 13th, so it might be spooky karaoke. It'll be from 5 until 8. See Rochelle if you're willing to put a flyer up in your town's library. And what says Happy Valentine's Day better than on February 14th at 11 a.m., learning about the transatlantic slave trade in New England. Woo! Come hear our very own Susan Harvey discuss the amazing and rather shocking truths about New England's involvement in slave trafficking. Make sure your phones, watches, and however else you communicate are on worship mode. Please join us for coffee down the hall at the vestry after our service. If you're new to our congregation or if you're visiting, there's a pink or purple pew card which is supposed to be here and I'm supposed to hold it up. If there is one, fill it out and put it in the collection basket if you'd like us to follow up with you. Thank you for being part of this vibrant community and welcome to church.
Our call to worship is The Unknown Woman in My Grandmother's Photograph by Jean Liebenthal. Your eyes seem to seek absolution from some tight-lipped Victorian sin as you stand there in that careful pose, those fingers curved just as the photographer molded them, that collar buttoned high beneath the austere chin, the tendril of unlocked hair escaping a perfect pompadour. Unnamed, untitled, unidentified, and dead so many years. One wouldn't think I'd hesitate this way to send your likeness after you into its burial place. Yet those pleading eyes haunt me, and it seems so like a second death. I can't but place you in the bottom of the shoebox once again to wait, demure and corseted, for the next generation. Let us worship. I'd like to invite Bella to come up and light our chalice this morning. And as Bella lights our chalice, please join me in saying the words of our covenant. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Thank you. Our opening hymn this morning is number 347 in the gray hymnal, Gather the Spirit. Words also on the screens. I invite you to rise in body or spirit.
A little higher? There we go. Good morning. This morning's story is called The Map of Good Memories. And it's by, my type is so little on here. It's an adapted story, so if you're reading along, you'll notice some of the things are weird, but I'm just going to correct them as I read it. Okay. Whoa, what's the matter with this? Hold on, sorry. I hate when it does this. Sorry. It's supposed to be bigger. There we go. Okay, sorry. Zoe had lived in the city since she was born, but now, because of the war, she had to flee with her family and take refuge in another country. The night before she left, she decided to do a little experiment. She spread out a map of the city on a table, look at all those places, and started to mark all the places where she had spent her happiest times in the 10 years of her life. First, she marked the house where she lived. Here, she'd learned to walk and speak her first words. Her room had always been a wonderful place full of games and daydreams. Her home had become a place full of good memories. Then she marked the place where she was at that particular moment, her school. While she did it, she ran through the names of their teachers and her favorite classmates. She'd been at school for so long, but Zoe was never bored. She loved learning new things every day. And there she is at school. Then she marked the library and the bookshop which were still in her neighborhood. Those were two places she absolutely loved. The people who worked there introduced her to books that filled her with different kinds of emotions. Their shelves were full of real treasures. The park in the middle of the city was another place for good memories. Its trees and bushes made her feel like she was in another world. It was an island of green filled with different kinds of animals. She'd spent many Sunday mornings there, playing on the swings, listening to people playing music, and riding her bike. Zoe loved going to the movies. So she drew a circle around her favorite cinemas and remembered all the films she had enjoyed there. She also thought about the candy counter, the big seats, the lady who showed you to your seat with the flashlight, and the magic of the big screen. The river was also marked on her map. Her favorite place was next to the North Bridge, where sometimes she could see a fish in the water and a family of ducks who loved eating crumbs of bread. She kept going until she had marked all the places that made her feel happy. After looking at the points scattered over the map, she started to connect them with a red pencil in the order she had discovered them throughout her life. She wanted to know what kind of shape would appear, joining all the good memories together. When she looked up, Zoe could not believe what she saw. Zoe. The shape of the map made the letters of her name. Zoe didn't know if it happened by accident or if it meant something. Perhaps it was the city's way of saying goodbye to her. What she did know is that wherever she went, all of the wonderful memories she had would always be with her. Zoe tucked the map of good memories into her suitcase. It was the map of a city she was sure to return to one day. And I chose this because our immigrant community is truly suffering. And we need to remember that every single one of them has a past that's really important to them.
Unitarian forebear Ralph Waldo Emerson wrote, "Rings and jewels are not gifts, but apologies for gifts. The only gift is a portion of thyself. Thou must bleed for me." This morning, we're not asking you to bleed for us. Well, maybe just a drop of blood would be nice. This congregation is self-supporting. We rely on the generosity of members and friends for our ministries. If you are able, we ask that you share some of your treasure to support our ministries. For those in the sanctuary, please put any cash or checks into the plates as they come around. For virtual participants, you can go to our website, fculittle.org, and look for the yellow donate button. You could also send a check to the church through the mail to the attention of the assistant treasurer. Thank you for your generosity. The offering will now be given and received in grateful appreciation. Please join with me in the words of our community response. May we be transformed by our giving, and may the world be transformed by our gifts.
Many Sundays we have a special time that we call the Candles of Caring. This is an opportunity to share those cares that are dearest with you this morning with this gathered beloved community. If you have a special joy, concern, or sorrow that you'd like to share, if you're here and you're able, we invite you to come up to the microphone that will be in the center up front and say your name and briefly let us know how we might direct our thoughts, prayers, and healing wishes. And then we'll offer a chance to bring the microphone to you where you sit if you wish. And if you are with us on Zoom, you can raise the hand in the reactions area and we will call on you in turn and light a candle for everyone up front. Are there any candles this morning? That's it from Zoom? Okay. Then I'd like to ask Larry to light one more candle, if there is an unlit candle. And let this represent all the joys, concerns, and sorrows that are with us this morning, but that remain unspoken. Thank you. Please join with me in the spirit of meditation or prayer. Once again, we have come together in love and trust, sharing those cares dearest to us with this gathered beloved community. Let us hold in our thoughts and our prayers all those joys, concerns, and sorrows spoken aloud, as well as those that remain unspoken, as we share together in a time of sacred silence. Amen, and blessed be. I've caught myself saying a picture is worth 1,000 words twice from this pulpit in 2026 alone. So this is now the third time I've said it this year. I said it during our remembrance service, and I said it again last week when I showed some photos from the clergy call in Minneapolis. Photographs have been on my mind. Photographs have a magic to them. They magically capture that moment in time, a snapshot of the past, misty watercolored memories of the way we were, scattered pictures of smiles we left behind. I have quite a way with words. Nostalgia is certainly a big part of it, or to use that Portuguese word that I love so much, saudade. It's a word I've mentioned before, a word that doesn't have an exact equivalent in English. We should have this word. Saudade is a particular kind of nostalgia, a kind of bittersweet feeling that's happy and sad all at the same time. It's a nostalgia for something that never quite was and never quite will be. So yes, notoriously hard to translate. But photographs have that kind of quality for me. I'm reminded of the gathering videos that we used to have and show during the heart of the pandemic when we were worshiping online only. The gathering videos were filled with pictures of you, photos of First Church Unitarian folks from over the years. And it helped us feel a little more connected, and it reminded us that things can change. And it reminded us of whose we were. And yes, there was also a Sadage feeling to those videos. There's a famous saying, of course, that photographs don't lie, but that's a lie. Photos can lie, and I'm not talking about AI or Photoshop or deliberate manipulation of photographs after a picture is taken. I'm not even talking about posing or setting up a photo in a way that kind of skews what's really happening, although that does happen, of course. Photographs can lie accidentally, creating an impression that isn't quite accurate. They take a split second, that ephemeral blink of the eye, and turn it into something momentous and eternal. I'm reminded of a photograph I'm going to show you now, thank you, Scott, of Cassius Clay, later Muhammad Ali, fighting Sonny Liston in 1965. And so here he is, towering triumphantly over Sonny Liston. Seems like he's yelling, maybe. But really, it is just a second. So in a moment, Scott will show us a 6-second video with no sound. Blink and you'll miss it. But you'll see Muhammad Ali making a gesture captured in the photo at approximately second 5. That was it. Boom. And there's something almost misleading about taking that split second out of context, making it bigger than it was. That's all it was. And somehow that photograph of Ali standing over Liston is actually far more powerful than the video footage. But is that misleading? Is that a lie? After all, every moment is momentous and eternal, and photographs just force us to recognize that in a tangible way. Some photographs, of course, are haunting in all kinds of ways. A photograph can be haunting. I always get a hint of the willies when I look at an old photograph and realize that every single person in it is gone, is dead now, even the children. And somehow, for me, that effect is increased when everyone in the photograph looks happy. Next picture. This is a beach photo from the turn of the century, late 1800s, early 1900s. I don't know anything about the photo. Nobody on the internet seems to. And of course, they're all gone now. But you look at it and you want to know more. Who were they? What were they up to that day? How did their lives turn out? How did there happen to be a photograph capturing this moment when there weren't very many candid snapshot-like photos being taken? Did they live well into the 20th century? Did they live to see the moon landing? What did they see in their lifetime? What changes? Photographs make us curious about people in a way that we really ought to be curious all the time about everyone we meet. The photograph makes us take notice of the subject, whereas in real life, people pass by and we barely take them in. If we could only focus on every subject our eyes encounter all the time in this way. Photographs make people matter more somehow. No, people always matter. Photographs just force us to notice how much they matter or mattered. Or as one of the great photojournalists, Dorothea Lange, put it, while there is perhaps a province in which the photograph can tell us nothing more than what we see with our own eyes, there is another in which it proves to us how little our eyes permit us to see. I'm also reminded of something about photographs that has, of course, changed dramatically over time. At the time of this old photo, there weren't, as I said, that many photos taken. But if you're part of the millennial generation or older, and I think that's all of us, then you remember a time when photographs were taken with standalone cameras, with film, and of course you had to develop them, which was somewhat expensive. And so you took photographs sort of sparingly. Today, in the developed world, many of us carry cell phone cameras 24/7, and we take photographs all day long, or we can. Some people really literally do. Older photographs, even casual ones like this, have a kind of gravitas to them simply because we didn't used to take so many pictures. When we look at a photograph, often it was planned out. We knew an important or memorable thing was happening or about to happen. We took photographs of graduations and weddings and birthdays and Christmas mornings, things like that. I often wish that there were more photographs of mundane days from my past or from the past in general. And there are a few here and there, but nothing like the prolific number of mundane photos taken in the era of the cell phone. It makes me think of something our own Reverend Jackie preached this fall. She preached a great sermon about how tears point us to the sacred. We cry for what is sacred, she said. And we also used to take pictures of the sacred. When we got our cameras loaded with film and took a photo, we were documenting what was sacred to us. But maybe that hasn't really changed so much after all. I was scrolling through my cell phone photos last week, thinking of this sermon. You can do the next slide. And it happens that the photos on my cell phone go back to 2016, so a decade's worth of photos, which is kind of amazing in and of itself that I can scroll through basically every photo I've taken in the last decade. But also, though there are perhaps too many photos of my dog, one could say. And there are some goofy shots in there, to be sure. Nevertheless, when I'm scrolling through pictures of what is sacred to me. Yes, that goofy dog, and my wife, and our daughter, and my mom and sisters, and friends, and you. There's lots and lots of photos of FCU, all of you at all kinds of different events, or just here on ordinary Sunday sometimes. And photos of travel, things that I will see and experience that I might not ever see or experience again. It's all sacred to me. Actually, none of it is ordinary. The ordinary is extraordinary, as photographs can remind us. As the great artistic photographer Alfred Stieglitz put it, photography is a reality so subtle that it becomes more real than reality. I'll share one more famous photo this morning. Next slide. I'm sure you've probably all seen this before. This is a photograph that was on the cover of the National Geographic, possibly its most famous cover. The photo is titled Afghan Girl, and it was taken by Steve McCurry in 1984. And it's definitely a striking portrait. The colors are great, and her amazing eyes. But in some ways, this photo is also a caveat. It's different when you're the one taking a picture of a stranger rather than stumbling upon a picture of strangers. It's different, especially if that picture will become known worldwide. This Afghan girl has a name, of course, though the photographer didn't know it in real time. She was eventually identified in 2002. Her name is Sharbat Gula, and at the time of this photo, she was 12, a 12-year-old Afghan refugee of the Soviet-Afghan War. And she was in Pakistan when this photo was taken. Some have compared this portrait to the Mona Lisa, and I suppose I can see that Mona Lisa-esque nature in that Gula is so captivating. But while Mona Lisa looks like perhaps she has a naughty secret, this girl looks like she's carrying terrifying secrets. According to scholars Maureen Kane and Adrian Howe, this image became emblematic as the, quote, refugee girl or woman located in some distant camp, unquote, someone from a developing country that deserved compassion from those of us in the developed world. And so you could think of it perhaps as objectifying in a certain way. In 2002, a National Geographic team made a concerted effort to find the girl in the picture, and they did. Next slide. Gula had never seen the photograph until they found her and showed it to her in 2002. So while the photographer got some fame and some fortune from that photo, she got nothing for those years. She's 30 in this photo. The good news is after they found her, National Geographic paid for some medical treatment for her and her family and helped pay for a pilgrimage to Mecca. The bad news is that this photograph of her showing her full face, not with her usual covering, made her more prominent, and it eventually caused her trouble in Pakistan. She was, in 2016, arrested for being in Pakistan with the wrong documentation. Immigrants have a hard time all over the world, it seems. And she was deported back to Afghanistan, where, especially after the Taliban took over, she was in a very bad situation once again. Luckily, though, and probably in part because of her prominence, she was then able to go to Italy. And as far as I know, she's still there. And today she would be 53. The ethics of taking photographs of strangers is mostly beyond today's scope, but I share these photos of Sharbat Gula and a bit of her story as a reminder, again, that every portrait of a stranger, every snapshot of a stranger gives such a small window into the totality of their life. As much as the Afghan girl portrait is a gorgeous photograph, and though it does speak 1,000 words, you need hundreds of thousands of words to do someone's life justice. There are so many famous photographs that I was tempted to talk about today, but really, it's ordinary photographs that intrigue me the most. You might recall last year I shared a bit with you about my maternal great-grandmother, Cora May Gammon. Slide. And this, as I told you, is the only photograph that exists of her, so it's extra precious to us. And though I love showing her one more time, which I didn't think I would ever get to do, good excuse, I'm not really showing her for the photo itself. You see, I had to get a frame to protect this precious photograph, and the only thing that fit the unusual shape of this old portrait was an old frame I found on eBay. So, slide. This was the man in the photo I got from eBay. And the seller didn't know anything about him, just the man in the frame I got for great-grandmother Cora. But I still have the photo of this stranger, and that's why I selected the poem I did for our call to worship, the poem Unknown Woman in My Grandmother's Photograph by Jean Liebenthal. She wrote, "Unnamed, untitled, unidentified, and dead so many years. One wouldn't think I'd hesitate this way to send your likeness after you into its burial place. Yet those pleading eyes haunt me, and it seems so like a second death I can't." In this case, I didn't put him back into the bottom of a shoebox. He is, in fact, hanging in a shabbier frame than the one Cora has on the wall of my den, next to photos of the Beatles. I figure he has potential as a Sgt. Pepper-looking character. I might bedazzle him with psychedelic effects, I don't know. But I can't bring myself to throw him away, sending him to a second death. Somehow he's still alive on my wall next to the Jimi Hendrix tapestry. And just one more photograph before I go. This is a photograph I remember hating of myself when it was taken. Yep, that's me. And it was the winter of 1987. I was a midshipman in Naval ROTC. I was 18. Yeah, and I just remember looking at this photograph when it came back, and all I saw was my pasty skin on my face and what I considered to be my cankles. But today, I love this picture, and I don't see really whatever flaws I was seeing then. I just see a pretty good kid trying to be a pretty good kid, the best way I knew in that moment. But really, this photo is pretty old by now. It's almost 40 years old. Wow. But I have found when I don't like a photo of myself, just wait 5 or 10 years. And you'll think you look pretty good. So if someone takes your photo and you don't like it, just wait 10 years, you'll see. You'll look at yourself, the present day you will look with a kinder, more loving eye in 10 years. Or to quote Dorothea Lange again, the camera is an instrument that teaches people how to see without a camera. So try to see yourself today with the kinder eyes you'll have for yourself in the future. May we learn to look at ourselves and each other with kinder eyes that we rest upon photographs, learning to shift from a limited, self-involved view toward a compassionate and eternal perspective. May we learn to find beauty in the ordinary. May we find the extraordinary in the ordinary. May we learn to be curious about and notice each other in real time the way we notice the subject of a photograph. And may we learn to give ourselves and each other that same kind of grace. May it be so. Blessed be, and amen. Our closing hymn is in the Great Hymnal. It's number 128, For All That Is Our Life. And I invite you to rise in body or spirit. For our closing words, I invite you, if you and the person next to you are comfortable, to hold hands or touch shoulders or feet, anything that works for you, or simply hold your hands up and feel the energy between us. And if you don't mind, I would just like to take a nice panoramic shot You look so beautiful. Yep, in 10 years, you're going to love this. Friends, take as many snapshots as you can with your mind, maybe even with your phone or other camera. But try to see the world like a camera does, putting just the right light and focus on the subject before you, giving it all the love and attention and grace and generosity of spirit that you can muster. May we see the world in this beautiful way today and every day. May it be so. Blessed be, and amen. Please be seated.